Refresh, swipe, refresh, swipe. Your heart races, palms sweat. 3 hours have passed, and your crush still hasn't responded to your hey message. Whoa, pause for a second. How did a simple text bubble gain so much power over us? I'm Matt, and I've fallen into the attachment trap too. Ever obsessively checked your messages or felt your mood nosedive when your partner doesn't reply instantly? Welcome to the club. Here's a wild thought. What if you could love deeply without losing yourself? An ancient secret, over 2,500 years old, holds the key to relationship peace. Spoiler: it's not about finding the perfect partner. It's about revolutionizing your approach to love itself. Welcome to Buddha's wisdom. Today we're exploring the art of non-attachment in love. Think of it as putting your heart in airplane mode. You stay connected, but you're not constantly pinging for validation. Ready to unlock the superpower of loving without clinging? Stay tuned. In the next 15 minutes, you might discover the secret to relationship bliss you've been swiping right for all along. Attachment in love often disguises itself as devotion. It manifests as an overwhelming fear of loss, a constant craving for reassurance, or an impulse to control your partner's life. Many believe their happiness depends entirely on another person's actions or presence. This intense attachment breeds suffering. Clinging too tightly suffocates love. It fosters neediness, jealousy, and possessiveness. Our self-worth becomes intertwined with our partner's approval. When expectations go unmet, emotional turmoil ensues. The Buddha taught, the root of suffering is attachment. This is especially true in relationships, where our attachments can lead to jealousy, possessiveness, and fear. In our previous video on karma, we explored how actions shape experiences. Attachment in love operates similarly. The more we grasp, the more disappointment we invite. It resembles attempting to hold water with a clenched fist. Increased pressure only causes it to escape faster. Conversely, healthy love flourishes with freedom. It unites two complete individuals who choose to share their lives, rather than two incomplete halves desperately clinging to each other. It involves appreciating your partner without a need for possession, and nurturing growth instead of restricting it. Breaking free from this attachment trap requires embracing the wisdom of non-attachment. This approach doesn't advocate becoming emotionally distant. Instead, it teaches us to love more deeply by loosening our grip. Curious to learn more? Let's explore this transformative concept. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine Sarah, who checks her boyfriend's online status every hour, feeling anxious when he doesn't respond immediately. Or Michael, who cancels plans with friends because his girlfriend might call. These are classic signs of attachment, masquerading as love. Interestingly, a study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that individuals with anxious attachment styles reported lower relationship satisfaction and higher levels of conflict. Science backs up what Buddha taught centuries ago. The Buddha taught about a concept called upadana, often translated as clinging or attachment. In love, upadana manifests as an obsessive need to control our relationships or partners. It's like trying to catch a butterfly by closing your fist around it. You'll either crush it or cause it to fly away. Consider these words from the Dhammapada. There is no fire like passion. There is no chain like hate. There is no snare like delusion. There is no torrent like craving. This reminds us how attachment can consume us if we're not mindful. Buddhism encourages us to love with open hands. This approach allows us to cherish our partners without suffocating them. It's about appreciating the present moment in our relationships, without anxiously grasping at a future we can't control. Consider this ancient Buddhist tale. A monk encounters a woman at a river's edge, unable to cross. Despite strict rules against touching women, he carries her across. Hours later, his companion, still troubled by this act, confronts him. The monk replies, I left the woman at the river. Why are you still carrying her? This story illuminates the essence of non-attachment in love. It teaches us to engage fully in our relationships without letting them burden our peace of mind. We learn to love deeply in the moment, then let go, avoiding the weight of excessive expectations or past grievances. Non-attachment differs starkly from indifference. It doesn't mean loving less, it means loving more wisely. It's about cultivating a love so secure that it doesn't need constant reassurance. A love that celebrates your partner's freedom as much as their presence. In our video, 8 Steps to Nirvana to Reach Peace, we explored the path to inner tranquility. Non-attachment in love forms a crucial part of this journey. By releasing our grip on controlling outcomes in our relationships, we open ourselves to a profound, liberating form of love. Views on attachment in love vary across cultures. While many Eastern philosophies, including Buddhism, have long emphasized the importance of non-attachment, Western cultures often portray intense emotional attachment as the ideal of romantic love. However, it's important to note that these are broad generalizations, and individuals within each culture may hold diverse perspectives. The key is to understand how different cultural contexts shape our views on love and attachment, and to find an approach that promotes genuine happiness and well-being in our relationships, regardless of cultural background. The Buddha said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." Dhammapada, verse 204. By practicing non-attachment in love, we align ourselves with this principle, finding a deeper, more sustainable form of happiness in our relationships. Embracing non-attachment in love transforms relationships profoundly. It fosters healthier, more balanced connections, allowing both partners to thrive independently and together. By releasing the need to control, you cultivate trust. This trust acts as a sturdy foundation, enabling your relationship to weather storms with resilience. You'll find yourself less reactive to minor issues, creating a more peaceful dynamic. Non-attachment nurtures personal growth within relationships. It encourages you to maintain your individuality, pursuing your passions and goals. This self-development enriches your partnership, bringing fresh energy and experiences to share. Anxiety in relationships often stems from attachment. Practicing non-attachment reduces this anxiety significantly. You'll worry less about potential outcomes and focus more on enjoying the present moment with your partner. A 2019 study by researchers Kimmis, Jarecki, Roberts, Harris, and Fincham, published in the Journal of Happiness Studies, found that individuals practicing mindfulness and non-attachment reported significantly lower levels of relationship anxiety and higher overall life satisfaction. Their research suggests that these practices can contribute to more fulfilling romantic relationships. Think of non-attachment as wearing a life jacket in the sea of love. You're still fully immersed, but you're not desperately clinging to stay afloat. This security allows you to enjoy the experience more fully. Interestingly, non-attachment deepens intimacy. By letting go of expectations, you create space for genuine connection. You see your partner clearly, appreciating them for who they are, rather than who you want them to be. Non-attachment also enhances communication. Without the fear of loss driving your interactions, you express your needs and feelings more honestly. This openness paves the way for authentic, meaningful dialogues. Remember our video on forgiveness? Non-attachment complements this practice beautifully. It allows you to let go of past hurts more easily, preventing resentment from poisoning your relationship. By embracing non-attachment, you unlock a new level of freedom in your relationship. You love without conditions, support without smothering, and connect without losing yourself. It's a pathway to a more fulfilling, harmonious partnership. Let's see some practical ways to cultivate non-attachment in love. These techniques will help you love more deeply while maintaining your independence. Start with mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings about your relationship without judgment. Notice when you're clinging to outcomes or expectations. This awareness alone can loosen attachment's grip. Remember the Buddha's words: do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. This is the essence of mindfulness in relationships. Practice self-love and self-sufficiency. Nurture your interests, friendships, and personal growth outside the relationship. Remember, you're a complete individual, not half of a whole. Communicate openly with your partner. Express your needs clearly, but release attachment to specific responses. Use I statements to convey your feelings without placing demands. Embrace impermanence in your relationship. Recognize that feelings, situations, and even relationships change. Instead of resisting this truth, allow it to deepen your appreciation for the present moment. Find joy in your partner's freedom and growth. Celebrate their successes, even when they don't involve you. Support their individual journey as much as your shared path. When jealousy or possessiveness arise, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that love isn't ownership. Choose to trust instead of control. Practice gratitude for what your relationship offers now, rather than focusing on what you wish it could be. This shift in perspective fosters contentment and reduces attachment to ideals. Lastly, remember the art of letting go. When conflicts arise, address them, then release them. Don't let past issues color your present interactions. By implementing these practices, you'll cultivate a love that's both deep and freeing. It's a journey, so be patient with yourself. With time, you'll discover the profound peace that comes from loving without attachment. Here's a real-world example. John used to feel insecure when his partner wanted alone time. By practicing non-attachment, he learned to see this time apart as an opportunity for both of them to grow individually, ultimately strengthening their relationship. Let's clear the air about some common misconceptions surrounding non-attachment in love. Many people hear non-attachment and picture emotional distance or a lack of care. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Buddha taught, "You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself, and that person is not to be found anywhere." This reminds us that non-attachment starts with self-love. Non-attachment doesn't mean becoming cold or aloof in your relationships. It's not about building walls or avoiding deep connections. Instead, it's about loving fully while letting go of the need to control outcomes. Some worry that practicing non-attachment will diminish their love. In reality, it often deepens it. By releasing expectations and accepting your partner as they are, you create space for a more authentic connection. Another misconception is that non-attachment equals commitment phobia. On the contrary, it allows for healthier commitments. You choose to be with your partner each day, not out of need or fear, but out of genuine desire. People often confuse non-attachment with indifference. However, non-attachment involves caring deeply while maintaining emotional balance. It's about loving without letting that love consume your entire identity. Some believe practicing non-attachment means never experiencing negative emotions in relationships. This isn't true. You'll still feel hurt, anger, or jealousy. The difference lies in how you respond to these feelings. Lastly, non-attachment doesn't mean giving up on improving your relationship. You can still work on issues and grow together. The key is doing so without attaching your happiness solely to the relationship's status. Understanding these misconceptions helps clear the path to practicing healthy non-attachment. It's not about loving less. It's about loving more wisely, more freely, and more authentically. We've journeyed through the art of non-attachment in love, uncovering its power to transform relationships. By loving without clinging, we open ourselves to deeper, more authentic connections. Remember, non-attachment isn't about detachment. It's about embracing love fully while releasing the need to control. It's choosing to love your partner for who they are, not who you want them to be. This path isn't always easy. It challenges our ingrained habits and fears. But the rewards, greater peace, deeper intimacy, and a love unburdened by expectations, make it worthwhile. As you move forward, start small. Practice mindfulness in your interactions. Notice when you're clinging and gently let go. Celebrate your partner's individuality. Nurture your own growth alongside the relationship. We'd love to hear about your experiences with non-attachment in love. Share your thoughts, challenges, and victories in the comments below. Your insights might inspire others on this journey. If you found value in this exploration, consider checking out our related videos. Our discussion on karma and the steps to nirvana complement today's topic beautifully. Remember, every moment offers a new opportunity to practice non-attachment. With each breath, you can choose to love more freely, more deeply, and more wisely. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Thank you for joining me on Buddha's wisdom. Until next time, may your love flow as freely as a river, nourishing without drowning, moving without forcing, and always, always growing.